Stop. Airlines are quietly profiting from what you don't know. Right now, a significant number of carriers are implementing secret measures to catch you off guard at the gate. One shiny suitcase or a single built-in battery could cost you $500 in an instant. The system feels broken, and they are banking on your ignorance. You're told you have rights, but when you are standing at the gate with 50 people staring at you, those rights feel invisible. It is time to level the playing field. This is how you beat them at their own game. Here is Rule 1 of 8. Security lines are getting longer this year because of a specific packing habit that agents are now targeting. Michael, a 42-year-old teacher, arrived at Amsterdam Schiphol, AMS, at 6 a.m., feeling prepared for his flight. He thought his carry-on was organized perfectly. Then the agent pulled him aside. He had to unpack his entire life onto a plastic tray, while the line behind him grew restless. The airline won't tell you this, but they profit when you are stressed and rushed. Michael was forced to leave behind expensive toiletries because they were buried at the bottom of his bag. Stop. Here is the reality. Most airlines now use high-definition scanners that struggle with cluttered bags. When you bury your electronics or liquids, the machine sees a solid block. That triggers a manual search every time. The fix is simple but effective. Place your liquids in a clear 1-quart bag at the very top of your luggage. Never let cables tangle around your laptop. Keep your chargers in a separate mesh organizer. Michael eventually made his flight, but the 20 minutes he lost could have been avoided. This is common practice, not a secret protocol. You can save time by simply understanding how the scanner sees your bag. Security is just the first hurdle, though. The real financial trap happens when your bag is made of the wrong material. This brings us to Rule 2 of 8. You should think twice about buying that high-gloss, mirror-finish suitcase before your next trip. Liam, a 31-year-old graphic designer, learned this lesson the hard way at Zurich, ZRH. He had just treated himself to a high-end, $800 polycarbonate suitcase with a beautiful reflective surface. It looked like $1,000,000. At the security checkpoint, the agent signaled for a second screening. Liam watched as his neatly folded clothes were tossed aside. Why his bag? High-gloss finishes can actually reflect or scatter X-rays, creating what agents call blind spots on the monitor. To a security screener, that glare looks like a hidden compartment or an unidentifiable object. They are not trying to ruin your day. They are following a standard procedure for obstructed views. The result is always a delay. The solution is to opt for matte or textured luggage surfaces. If you already own a shiny bag, consider using a simple fabric luggage cover to dull the reflection. Liam eventually cleared the checkpoint, but his mood was sour and his bag was a mess. A beautiful bag can lead to a very ugly delay. But a messy bag is nothing compared to a bag that gets banned from the plane entirely because of a hidden fire hazard. Pay close attention to Rule 3 of 8. Oliver, a 24-year-old journalist, stood at gate B12 in Brussels, BRU, at 2 p.m., checking his emails. The gate agent walked over and pointed at his sleek, modern carry-on. She asked if it was a smart bag. Oliver smiled and showed off the built-in USB port. Then came the question that changed everything. Does the battery come out? Oliver went silent. The battery was built into the frame. The agent shook her head and told him the bag could not fly. Panic set in. Since 2018, most major airlines have banned smart luggage with non-removable lithium-ion batteries. These batteries are considered a fire risk in the cargo hold. The airline won't warn you about this during booking, but they will enforce it at the gate. Oliver had to scramble to find a plastic bag for his essentials while his expensive suitcase was left behind. Here is the fix. Only buy smart luggage, where the battery can be removed with a single click. If your bag requires a tool to open the battery compartment, keep a small screwdriver in your pocket or a nearby pouch. In most cases, if you can take the battery into the cabin with you, the bag can stay. Oliver lost his bag that day because of a simple tech oversight. Don't be a victim of the lithium lockdown. Rule 4 of 8 involves a metal cage and a lot of unnecessary stress. Have you ever seen a traveler frantically trying to shove a backpack into a metal sizer while an agent watches with a clipboard? Isaac, a 28-year-old developer, faced this situation at Pittsburgh, PIT. He assumed his bulging backpack qualified as a personal item. It did not. The agent pointed at the zippers that were straining against the fabric. "That is a carry-on," the agent said. The fee was $75. Isaac's travel budget for the weekend was gone before he even left the airport. The trick that many ignore is the 18 by 14 by 8-inch limit. Most airlines use these dimensions for anything that goes under the seat. If your bag looks like a balloon, you are a target. Here is how you win. Wear your heaviest layers on the plane. Put your bulky laptop chargers and heavy power banks in your jacket pockets. This slims down the bag significantly. If an agent flags you, stay calm and ask if you can try to fit it under the seat yourself. Often, if it fits there, they will waive the fee. Isaac paid the price because he didn't prepare. Bag fees are a massive revenue stream, but they are nothing compared to the secret weight checks happening at the boarding line. Rule 5 of 8 covers the secret weight checks that are becoming a standard practice for many U.S. carriers. Noah, a 54-year-old accountant, was waiting to board his flight in Austin, AUS, at 4:30 p.m. He knew his bag met the standard 22 by 14 by 9-inch size requirements. He felt safe. However, as he moved through the line, an agent pulled him aside to a portable scale. His bag weighed 32 pounds. The airline's limit for that specific fare class was 25 pounds. The agent insisted he pay a gate check fee of $60. Noah was frustrated because he had never been weighed before. Many airlines are now cracking down on weight to save on fuel costs and speed up boarding. They are banking on the fact that most people only check dimensions, not pounds. If you find yourself over the limit, don't argue. Instead, quickly move your heaviest items, like books or heavy shoes, into your personal item or wear them. Better yet, if the flight is full, ask to gate check the bag for free. Many agents would rather give you a free tag than deal with a slow credit card transaction while the clock is ticking. Noah managed to move 7 pounds of gear into his pockets and avoided the charge. This is a game of logistics. If you like saving money, keep listening. Let's move to Rule 6 of 8 regarding family travel and the backpack loophole. James, a 37-year-old physical therapist, was traveling through Warsaw, WAW, with his young daughter. He assumed her small, colorful backpack was a free addition to their luggage. Most parents make this assumption. However, the gate agent stopped them and pointed at the bag. The airline won't tell you this, but they are increasingly strict about the one personal item per ticket rule. If your child has their own seat, their bag must fit the sizer just like an adult's. If it doesn't, it is a full-price carry-on charge. James ended up paying $65 on the spot. It was an expensive mistake for a bag full of plastic toys.
The fix is to measure every bag in the house, even the cute ones. If the backpack is larger than 18 by 14 by 8 inches, it is a risk. Do not assume that being a family gives you a pass on baggage policy. Usually, the policy wins. James's daughter kept her toys, but his wallet took a hit that could have been avoided with 2 minutes of measuring at home. You just saved yourself $60. Rule 7 of 8 is the strategy most gate agents don't want you to use. Lucas, a 49-year-old realtor, was standing in Charlotte, CLT, when he noticed the agent eyeing his slightly oversized duffel bag. He knew he was in trouble. The agent approached and told him it would be $65 to check the bag because it was too large for the overhead bin. Lucas didn't pull out his wallet. Instead, he politely stepped back and waited. He watched as the boarding process reached the halfway point. Suddenly, the overhead bins were completely full. The agent made a frantic announcement asking for volunteers to check their bags to their final destination for free. Lucas stepped up, handed over his bag, and paid nothing. The airline won't tell you this, but they almost always run out of space on full flights. It is a gamble, but if you are willing to wait until the end of the boarding process, you can often get a free gate check. Lucas saved $65 and didn't have to fight for bin space. He skipped the baggage claim line at his destination because he knew the bag would be waiting for him. Cheap seats don't have to mean expensive mistakes. Finally, Rule 8 of 8 is the most expensive mistake of all, and it happens after you land. Amelia, a 29-year-old pharmacist, stood at the carousel in Venice, VCE, at 10 p.m. The belt stopped moving, but her luggage was nowhere to be seen. The airline representative offered her a $50 voucher and a shrug. Amelia knew better. They are banking on your ignorance of international law. For domestic flights within the U.S., the Department of Transportation sets the liability limit at $3,800. For international trips, the Montreal Convention protects you for up to approximately $1,700. Amelia didn't walk away. She filed a formal claim immediately at the airport. She had photos of her luggage and a list of the contents. Because she knew the specific rules, she didn't settle for a voucher. It took some persistence, but she eventually received $3,000 to cover her lost belongings. If you don't know these numbers, the airline will keep your money every single time. Always document your bags before you hand them over. Persistence pays off when the system fails you. Now you have the knowledge to navigate the terminal like a pro. The airlines hate that you know this. Hit subscribe to keep winning.